My name is Amanda Renee, and I am the creator behind CtrlZ Digital Designs. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about Zazzle, specifically their new accessory pouches. I just received a few in the mail that I plan to give away this weekend to some of the great mother figures in my life. I have a lot of hopes for this video, and basically we'll go over kind of three main things. The first thing I want to talk about is the product itself and give a review so you can kind of see it in real life and what it looks like, what the two sizes look like side by side, and my overall impressions on quality. The second thing I plan to share is more probably for designers or customers who really get into personalizing and going into the editing tool, or at least want to be a discerning customer in looking at a design and thinking about what it might look like in real life. And then the third part, I might talk a little bit about what I would do differently for next time for my designs in terms of how I create them, and a little bit about what I hope Zazzle might do or consider in the future for this product. So this is the first bag that I want to show you. This is one of the large accessory pouches, and I'll show you the dimensions on that. So it was actually, you know, even though I've been using a ruler for quite a while, and you can see my retro Garfield ruler that I have in fact had since I was a little kid. Obviously, you know, I thought I had a pretty good idea of what 12 inches is, but I think I just had in my mind some of the other cosmetic bags I've seen, and this is actually quite big. So I really like that. I think it's really roomy. I think there are uses for both the small and the large, and I've been trying to create some coordinating ones where you can kind of make a set with a small and large accessory pouch, and then maybe even the dop kit as well. There are definitely uses when you might want a larger bag like this if you are maybe storing cosmetics in this on your bathroom counter and you use a lot of makeup. It could be a great option. And then if you're traveling with a lot of toiletries and things like that, I think this would totally be a great choice. So you've got that 12 inches, and then I'm a little crooked here, but then you're 8.5. The quality of the print is really nice. This was kind of a denim background and sort of a faux lace, not really lacy. I actually have a better one of that here in a minute that I'll show you, but the details are really nice. The colors print very well. So you can see a lot, hopefully, of the detail. I'm a little close, I'll make sure you're zoomed in. Has a nice bleed that goes into the seam. Personalized name is very clear, nice, easy to read. I'll try to put up on the screen what size that is, just so you have a basic idea. I think that's one of the things, it's always helpful to see a product in person to get an idea of like how big really is this. And obviously there are some ways around that as designers, and I might talk about that at a future point, but it is nice to get this in hand and really see what things look like. And you can see on the back, I've kind of mirrored some of that. It's a more simple design. It starts to get a little close to the bottom there, and it definitely looked like on the preview and in the design program that I would have a little bit more breathing space down there. But it stays out of the seam, and I'm totally okay with that. Again, it's really clear, it's nice, it's easy to read. I really like the zipper. It's hard to capture zipping and unzipping the pouch while I'm holding the camera here, but it does zip nicely. It goes back and forth. Seems like it'll be a pretty sturdy zipper. I've ordered a couple of different bags now, and if that's something you're interested in, some additional reviews on some other bags, I have the large crossbody bag as well as a budget tote. If you're interested in that, please leave a note down in the comments, but this is something I've noticed that has been on several of my orders, these big tags with the Zazzle information. I've noticed it on my bags as well as the pillows I've ordered, but they come off really nice and easily as well. This is the inside of the bag. You can see through it a little bit out here in the sun. I didn't really notice that inside, but it's kind of a black woven. I'm not really sure about what it is here. I think you could probably do like touch-ups and spot cleaning. It's definitely not like a vinyl that you could wipe down really easily to keep clean, but pretty well constructed. Down at the bottom, the finishing sewing down there. The second bag I have for you is the small pouch. Obviously I did not design these to coordinate, so they don't look super great together, but just to give you an idea of the size difference, you can see that here. It is as wide as the big pouch is tall, so that gives you kind of an idea of that measurement. And then and maybe about 2/3 as wide as the large pouch. I think this size pouch will be really good for maybe some pens and pencils, not necessarily your whole collection, but a few if you're taking them with you to work while you're out and about, maybe at a doctor's office or something like that while you're waiting on an appointment. You could definitely fit a good handful of things in here, your phone, your keys, basics. I honestly carry a purse, a wristlet purse that's about this size, and it has everything I need. I have a small wallet in there. I put my keys, a pen, some eye drops, all of my essentials, and it's perfect for me. The only thing that this would be missing is the actual handle, but that's not obviously what this is intended to be. On the back, you can see that the print is really nice. It's very colorful, but this is what I want to talk a little bit about for designers. I had put at the bottom right-hand corner in almost all of my designs I created some sort of personalization options. Here you have the initial, for the M, for the person I'm giving this to, and it was very clearly in the safe area, not super duper far, but definitely enough clearance by at least a box. And I'm not, those gray, the small gray boxes, not the larger ones, I'm not really sure what increments Zazzle is using because they seem to change as you zoom in and out. I might try to figure that out for a future video, but there definitely was clearance. And you can see it is within, it doesn't quite go all the way into the seam, but because this includes the actual letter and this whole element, it bothers me. This is something that to me shouldn't be a problem here based on the preview images as well as what I could see in the edit tool, especially because I was in that safe area that you should always stay in with your most important elements, the things that really would be a problem if they are not printed. And so I'm a little disappointed about this one. I did contact customer service and I think they are going to be able to get me a new one. That was the original communication I received, and I hadn't heard anything for a while, so I wrote back, and I did get another message actually today about that. She said they were still following up with the print, the people in production, and would contact me again if this is kind of as close as they can get. But my concern is that I've now received a third pouch, and it has kind of a similar issue with this bottom part. So that's something I really want to caution designers about, is that you really need to be careful with how close you're putting your elements. Moving forward, I am definitely going to be moving my elements further away from that bottom, at least until maybe there's an update on how that appears on screen with the previews, as well as even just where they've drawn the safe print area. There does not seem to be a lot of leeway, especially at the bottom of the bag versus the sides. And I did have more room between the side and the edge, but it seems like maybe there's less fabric that's pulled in from the sides than what's happening at the bottom, because I noticed this as a trend on the other bag as well. But that being said, really pretty colors, nice, heavy duty, good weight material. The print is really nice. Got the nice zipper again. The inside is the same as previously. And so really good quality. Just for fun, I'll show you the third bag I ordered. I actually think this one might be my favorite. I really like how it came together. So you can kind of see the repeating pattern It's really pretty and cute. The print is nice and clear. On the back, you can tell I really got into the denim theme. I really like how the kind of lace detailing turned out. I think that's really cute. It prints really nice for something that's kind of delicate. So I thought that looked really good. Love the delicate butterfly here. I think it printed really well. It's super cute. It does get kind of into where we're pulling into the seam again. And you know, this one's not quite as big of a deal to me because it's not part of that initial. That was the personalization, which was the thing that really bothered me with the first one. But per the safe print area, again, this should be up here a little bit versus being all the way tucked in and not being able to be visible. And what's interesting is I went back and looked at the design file, and it was actually farther from the bottom than it was from the side, yet the side has all of this room and the bottom is being tucked in. So that's just something to kind of know. For now, as a designer, I would not 100% trust those guidelines. I would bring your things in a little bit more if you want to make sure they have some breathing space and that they're not being pulled in to where things are being sewn. Obviously, that's part of the nature of a product that's sewn. I thought between the preview and the design tool, I would have been good. And so that was something that was a little bit disappointing, especially because these are gifts. When I spoke with customer service with the other bag, the only one that I'm going to try to get replaced, at first it sounded like it was going to be replaced on time, but because there was that delay between when she got to me again, now she's saying it may not arrive in time for Mother's Day. Honestly, I don't think mother-in-law is going to care, but it bothers me. It bothers me as the designer and as a customer because this is not what it looked like on screen. So that being said, I think the products are really quality. I love the prints. They're really nice. The zipper is strong. I like the size. I feel like, you know, are they a little bit expensive? Yes, but you're not going to find something like this in the store, obviously, because it is so customizable and personalized to your recipient. So I think people will be willing to pay a little bit more for that aspect that they can't get anywhere else. And that's one of the things I really love about Zazzle is nobody else is offering anything like this. I'm definitely going to continue to design for this product now that I've seen the quality, just knowing kind of the limitations of how close am I going to put things to the edges. Moving forward, there are a couple of thoughts I have for Zazzle. One, I do think that there might need to be a tweak or at least some guidance or additional information for designers to consider the excess fabric that's going to be tucked into the seams when designing. Now that I've received a few different bags, 2 of them have at least gone into kind of the area where the fabric goes under. And then the third one, I think maybe the bottom back might be a bit closer, although that one turned out pretty well. So as a designer, I plan to allot, at least until maybe any changes are made to the previews and the guides in the editing tool, I plan to actually bring my elements, if I want to type and things like that are super important elements, I plan to bring them further off the baseline and ensure that they're not going to get cut off. I didn't notice problems too much on the sides, so hopefully that's a pretty accurate representation. I actually had a lot of those designs kind of equidistant from the right side, where I typically put it in the bottom right hand corner, and the bottom, but the bottom is where I noticed the bigger problems with things getting folded up, obviously, so that the product can be sewn. The second thing that I really would like to see Zazzle do, and I want to give a shout out here to Cole's Creations, who suggested in the forums that they consider offering a couple of different ways to categorize this product moving forward. I think there are a lot of people who will buy these as accessory pouches, and I think thinking about that in terms of cosmetics and putting things in that sort of format would be helpful. I also think the idea of this kind of travel bag and luggage. And then also a lot of people use these for pencil cases, pens. As a teacher, I used to see a lot of students who would use kind of the dot bag specifically and that style with their nice pens and stationery and things like that. And I think that's a totally valid category as well and would be really great for marketing for back to school. The third thing is more of a large wish, and I think is something that would clearly affect the prices, but maybe if the product becomes popular might be something to consider for the future. I know with the pillows that Zazzle offers a variety of fabric types, and one of the things that I think is a big consideration for these types of pouches, especially cosmetics and toiletries and pens and things that make a mess and sometimes leak, I think it would be great to have an option to create pouches that have a wipeable liner inside. And I see this almost like the option with the pillows where you could choose the outdoor fabric. I know this would affect cost. I'm sure there are issues of sourcing this, but I could see somebody wanting to pay maybe a little bit extra to have that option so that they can clean out their bag and it will last longer. It's not obviously a standard thing. I have a lot of bags that have the exact same kind of fabric lining, and that's fine. And they, you know, after a while they look kind of dirty, and you can do only so much really to clean them up. But I do think that that would be really cool if that were an option, and I do think customers would be willing to pay a bit more for that option. But obviously I think that first we need to see if there's a need and how well these sell for Zazzle. I'm a big bag person. I feel like I can't have enough of them. They're cute, they're practical, and obviously I got really excited. I created over 40 different designs. Now some of those are variations on the same design in different colorways and things like that, but I really had a lot of fun designing this product. I think there's something that we could, as designers, really capitalize on. And for people like me who just are bag suckers, I think you're gonna find that there's a great demand for this product.